Welcome back to the Explorers. So this is the second video in a 3-part series. If you hadn't watched the first one, you should probably watch it right here. Really excited about this one. So in this video, it's going to be more about the opportunities that we have with the Mississippi Barrier Islands. All right, let's get into it. Where did you come up with the inspiration for your senior project, which was the Mississippi Barrier campaign, essentially?
I grew up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I went to grade school there, and then I went to college there, and I'd never known anything about the Barrier Islands. When I started dating Kyle.
Say hi, Kyle.
So when I started dating that guy, he and all his friends would spend the weekends out there fishing, camping, just, you know, kayaking, whatever, and it was kind of like this place that I never knew existed, but it was so close. So we spent every weekend out there. I was like, if we didn't have plans, that's where I want to be. You know, I just like fell in love with it immediately. My first senior project pitch, my teacher was like, that's boring, it's been done before, what else can you do? And I'm like, gosh, I thought it was really good, you know, like what else can I come up with? And it just, like, one weekend we were out there, it hit me, I was like, nobody knows about this.
No.
And it's really cool. It's something that, like, if you tell somebody, like, hey, we have these really awesome islands off the coast of Mississippi, people are like, you're lying.
Yeah.
People who live in Mississippi don't know about them. This is what I need to do, you know, I need to promote this awesome natural resource that we have. So that's kind of where I came up with it.
So I'm trying to tie in the Mississippi Barrier Islands deal a little bit. So I guess give a little bit of background.
We went out to the Barrier Islands on the boat, and it was an incredible adventure. It was like the dream agency style job where you're like, I want to do this every day because it was really cool.
All right, so we're talking about the Mississippi Barrier Islands video, which you don't remember shooting.
I remember I was on a boat because I have a photo of being on that boat. And I remember walking in the sand. And I remember some dogs. There were dogs, right?
I don't remember dogs.
There weren't dogs there?
I don't remember dogs.
I thought there were some dogs. Yeah, there were dogs. I'm pretty sure there were dogs.
I went back and I watched the video of the Mississippi Barrier Islands campaign. And what stuck out to me and why I'm even doing a YouTube video about this is that I think the video holds up, and I also think that the strategy holds up. I think the creative holds up. Everything that surrounds it holds up, and it's something that I feel like can still be an asset to the state of Mississippi.
Sometimes, especially in the creative world, because creative comes and goes, it evolves the way things look, the words we use to describe certain things.
Yeah, you need style to tell the story.
Sure, when I think about that now though, I think that it is just as relevant today as it was then, if not more so. And the more so is the fact that the Gulf Coast in Mississippi is seeing its biggest tourism boom with the reconstruction after Katrina. Really, this many years later, 13 years later, it's really starting to function at a high level, and it's really drawing a lot of people for a lot of different reasons.
Especially with like millennials and younger, there's a huge want and push to just like disconnect and be outside, and it's something that's so close to us that you have to know somebody who has a boat. So I mean, if there were tours running, people who are coming down for days at a time, it would be great to have day trips out there and fish and things like that.
I mean, they're building high-rise condos now.
I know.
You know, for people to go stay in.
On the Gulf Coast.
On the Gulf Coast.
Of Mississippi.
And those people need options and things to do.
It just seems like they're missing a huge opportunity for, you know, exactly the creative that you came up with, and then us, you know, building on that.
I agree. I completely agree. I think it's a huge missed opportunity.
I guarantee you there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, it's just funny that nobody has really, and we talked about this when we were developing the campaign, that nobody's really taken advantage of this, and we could never figure out exactly why. We heard that, I don't know if this is the case, but there would be that people on the coast, like the different cities, couldn't ever come together and agree on, you know, how to approach it, attack it, capitalize on it. Don't know if that's true. That was just hearsay that we were told.
Sure.
But regardless, it's still, the fact still remains.
Yes.
There's a huge opportunity that's being missed.
Yes. And quite possibly that opportunity is in the private sector, not necessarily with the state or coupled with the state promoting it, just as they would the blues tour or that kind of thing. It's a huge piece of what we have that is completely untapped, which is very difficult to find anymore. If you take another state, for example, that was doing it better than we are in a coastal area, they would kill to have those islands as an amenity to what they already have, because they would look at it as an opportunity for growth. They would say, why are we not utilizing that? Why are we not offering that to people? Why are we not taking day trips out there on boats? Why are we not filling boats up with people and doing tours of it and letting them see how beautiful it is out at these islands, how beautiful the water is, how beautiful the sand is, the wildlife. It seems like anyone would come in from the outside that's already doing it well somewhere else and go, how come y'all aren't taking anybody to those islands? What's going on with that? It's gorgeous out there. Why? And it's not that far. How far out is it? 10 miles?
Yeah, 10, 15, depends on where you
10, 15 miles. People love a boat ride. You can talk to them about the history of the Gulf. You can talk to them about hurricane damage, how high the water was. You could go into all kinds of history of things about the Civil War. You know, as it goes back, I don't know what all history is, but there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And while on the ride out there, and then they could go hang out, and you know.
I got to go on a boat, which is pretty
Dogs,
cool.
evidently.
There were dogs, yeah. There was a boat, there were dogs. Yeah, we were on the coast, that was cool. The islands were neat. I can see why people would like them. I think it was one of the last times I went outside. What was that, 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not too long of a gap. It's only
The
been...
sun is like tearing away at my flesh. It's nice, good
lighting.
Yeah, it's good lighting.
Can I expand on something?
Yeah.
Having just got back from Chicago, Chicago is a big water city. It sits directly on Lake Michigan. It has the Chicago River that runs, you know, directly through the city. And tours on the river are huge, huge. I'm talking tens of thousands of people every day in the summer get on these very large boats, and they go down the Chicago River and they take them out onto Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
They tool them around Lake Michigan and then bring them back and drop them off, and they do it again over and over again. And there's a tour guide and there's, you know, all this stuff. They've even built an island out there to take people to.
Really?
Yes. And so when you look at it like that, and then you look at the Gulf Coast, you go, people want to go out. They want to go out there. They want to be on the water. And there's the Ship Island Tour, which is, I think, run by the state.
Actually, it's not. It's run by a private. I found this out.
Okay.
So in that video I made about Ship Island, which is right up here, it's been owned by the same family. It's a family-run thing that's been owned for years, and they have a contract with the state to ferry people out. Just like, you know, contracts in Yosemite or Yellowstone and all that.
And that's to my point, what you're saying, because all of these boats that are being run in Chicago on the Chicago River and on Lake Michigan are all private businesses, and the people are just doing it for the pleasure of it. And so obviously it's profitable,
Right.
or they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And I realize Chicago's huge. It's our third largest city in the nation. But the tourism area of Chicago is probably about the size of the Gulf Coast.
Like the physical area?
Yeah. You're not going to all parts of Chicago. People go to the Magnificent Mile, the Gold Coast, Lincoln Park, and it's all the coastline of Lake Michigan. They're not, you know, it's concentrated, of course. So you know, and someone could do the market research on it. I don't know what the numbers are to people that travel to the coast every year.
Well, on that, when we went out to do the Ship Island excursion, there were so many people there that they had to pull one of their other boats just at the last minute so that they could ferry everybody out there. Both of the boats were completely full.
Right. Yeah, and not surprising. And so you see that people want to go out there, and there's more islands out there than just Ship. All I know is that it was good work then. It's good work now. And the opportunity, at least for private companies, as long as the islands are publicly accessible, which I believe they are, there is opportunity there to make money. There absolutely is. You get it?
Got it.
Nailed it.
All right, so thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out, helps us grow the channel. And yeah, the next series, or the next part, will be coming up hopefully next week, in which we'll be talking about the creative and the process for the strategy. Super excited to share that one though. I say super excited a lot, I don't really know why. So, again, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.